Stefan was exotic because he's Italian. He had a lean, flat, muscled body, faded jeans he probably had to peel off at night. Hi, hello, welcome back, welcome if you're new. So today I have a very fun video for us. We're getting into the fall, autumn season right now, and for me, that always means rewatching The Vampire Diaries. Literally one of my favorite shows. I'm sorry. But I just love it, okay? My streaming services aren't really working, so I figured if I can't watch it, why not read it? So basically in this video, I decided we're gonna read the books. I also decided to dress accordingly, so I tried to go for the Elena core style. I just realized it's basically always like a v-neck and a lace something under. I don't have any lacy stuff, so we're just going with another top underneath. But yeah, I tried, okay? Now let's get into the books a little bit more. Like, what am I even getting myself into, you know? I have to say, I read the first book. I remember reading the first book back when I watched the TV show, and I just remember that it was so different. So by the way, I'm just telling you right now, this is gonna be a spoiler vlog, okay? Like, I'm gonna be reading these books now, and I will have to talk about them, like, fully. So if you haven't read the books, just telling you right now, we're gonna be talking about it. And also, if you haven't watched the TV show, I'm probably gonna compare. So I'm probably also gonna talk about the TV show. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way right at the beginning. I feel like I need to say what I even remember because like I said, I read the first book. I don't really remember much except that I think it's like very different. So Elena, for example, is blonde and she's like basically Caroline. Like she's the cool popular girl. And then Stefan comes to school. Like I said, I'm gonna spoil a bit of the book already now, okay? So I'm just saying, if you haven't read it and you want to read it, maybe this is not the part for you right now. And so basically, I remember the scene from the TV show where Stefan comes into school and Elena and her friends are like, who is this hottie? But unlike in the books, Stefan actually didn't come here for Elena, I guess, because I feel like in the TV show that's how it went. But rather, he just went there because he's a vampire and has to move all the time. And when he meets Elena, the girl who looks exactly like Catherine, he's actually like, hell no. I don't want to be reminded of my traumatizing past all the time. I am not gonna go near this girl. And since Elena, like I said, is the popular girl in the school, she's like, what do you mean a guy isn't interested in me? Like, I don't think so. And so she's like, I'm gonna make it my life goal, I guess, to get Stefan to fall in love with me. And that's all that I remember from the books. Oh no, and Catherine is German. I remember that as well, because I was shocked when she wasn't in the TV show. So we gotta get a little bit of information now first, right? So I looked it up. The first book is called The Awakening. There are 4, by the way. Published September 1st, 1991? Damn, I did not know these books were that old. When did the TV show come out? 2009, right? So like almost 20 years later? That's insane. Okay. 235 pages. Damn. These books are short. Are all of them this short? Yes, all of them are under 300 pages. Okay, first book. A love triangle of unspeakable horror. Elena, searching for the ultimate thrill, she vowed to have Stefan. Stefan, haunted by his tragic past, he struggled to resist her passion. Ooh, okay. Stefan, haunted by his tragic past, he struggled to resist her passion. Damon, driven by revenge, he hunted the brother who betrayed him. The terrifying story of 2 vampire brothers and the beautiful girl torn between them. Okay, interesting, because I didn't remember if the love triangle was actually like a thing in the books. Because I feel like I remember Stefan and Elena being like end game-ish, I think. Like, I feel like Damon wasn't even that much in the picture. I'm not sure. But interesting nonetheless. Okay, and I actually just saw that it says on my notes that the second book came out January 1st, 1991. So that makes no sense because I just said the first one came out September 1st. I'm a little bit confused on the timeline here, but yeah. On to the reading now. Okay, chapter 1. September 4th. Dear Diary. Something awful is going to happen today. But it's crossed out. Okay, I'm literally still on page 2 or something, but the parents died, and Elena talks about it being weird to be back home. So we know that, makes sense. And then, like I said, like I already knew this, but it's just so funny. Elena Gilbert, cool and blonde and slender. The fashion trendsetter, the high school senior. The girl every boy wanted and every girl wanted to be. I mean, the last sentence is kind of true to the series, to be honest. But yeah, it's just so funny that they completely changed her look and character for the TV show. Oh, also Jenna is called Judith. And we have a friend called Meredith that doesn't really exist in the TV show. And we have a sister instead of a brother. Okay, we're also getting Stefan's POV, just like in the TV show. I genuinely didn't remember that. In jeans and a t-shirt, Stefan Salvatore looked exactly like a normal high school student. He wasn't. Okay, so basically Bonnie's cousin told her that she's psychic and that they are descendant from druids. So far the plot is kind of similar to the beginning. I would say of the first episode that Elena just writes in her diary at the beginning and then like she goes to the kitchen, talks to Jenna, which is called Judith, and then she goes to school with her friends and Bonnie tells them that she is psychic. And then she wants to do a hand reading for Elena. And it's all fun and jokes. Like she goes, "Ooh, I see." But then she actually, like, genuinely has a vision. So it's similar to the TV show, I would say. It's just so funny. From where she stood, Elena could see he had a lean, flat, muscled body. Faded jeans he probably had to peel off at night. Uh, His hair was wavy and dark. He wasn't tall though. Ooh, short king. Just average height. Oh, okay. He also wears sunglasses, by the way, like in the show. And the scene is basically the same. He goes to the secretary and the woman there just tells him, "You're not studying here," and then he compels her. Okay, so basically, Stefan just walked right past her and didn't even look at her. And Elena is shooketh. Because she couldn't remember a time a boy had done that. They all looked. Oh, okay, we're getting the mad backstory. Basically, again, the same. They were friends, then they dated, and Elena was like, I don't think so. Like, don't we feel better as friends? And Matt's like, sure. Okay, Elena is kind of giving Blair Waldorf because, like I said, she's the popular one, But since she's blonde, you might think, well, maybe Serena is actually more of the choice. But she just asked like this random girl to find out everything about Stefan, and she went. This was so Blair Waldorf coded. Like she was just like, come here," and the girl was like, my god, you want to talk to me? Okay. And she just goes, go find out anything you can about Stefan. And she was like, oh my god, of course, sir. So yeah, very Blair Waldorf minion-esque, And also they said Stefan is in none of her classes. That's weird. Like, what do you mean they don't have history together?
I'm Elena.
I'm Stefan.
I know. We have history together.
Okay, Caroline's a little jealous. So that also checks out. Because, yeah, we also have Caroline. Like I said, we have this other friend called Meredith, and it's technically always Bonnie, Elena, and Meredith. But Caroline is also there. Okay, we just got Stefan's POV, and he immediately thinks Elena looks like Catherine, and he wants nothing to do with her. But yeah, like I said, I remember that part. And Elena's like, she'll have him if it killed them both. Like, she really wants this man. And we got Damon mentioned. There's also Italian in this, so if someone could tell me what this means, thank you. So we're already going into the past and actually meeting Catherine. This is happening. Everything's happening so fast. I am so overwhelmed right now. Oh yes, and like I said, Catherine is German. I remember that. Oh my god, and Stefan has Catherine's daylight ring? Okay. So if you don't know daylight rings, I feel like they were a really cool and interesting idea for vampires because vampires can't walk in the sun. Like that's basic knowledge, I would say. And so in the TV show and apparently also in the books, we have these daylight rings. Actually, they haven't even mentioned it yet. They just said that Stefan has a ring from Catherine that has a blue stone. But I feel like that's exactly like in the show. So I'm guessing we're gonna go there. So basically with the daylight rings, they have these rings and when they wear them, they can be out in the sun and walk around. But like, how's she living right now? Catherine, I mean, without the ring. I mean, she can probably make a new one, but like, interesting. Can Damon actually summon crows? Because I know that he was supposed to in the TV show. They planned that plotline in the pilot, but then they didn't go with it. So maybe they took that from the books. Stefan was exotic because he's Italian and hi. Sorry, I cut you off back there a little bit, but I had to get to uni. Now I am back and I'm ready to dive into the Vampire Diaries again. I'm a little bit sick. I feel like you can probably tell. I feel like I'm a little bit white looking right now. However you want to say it, I don't know. But yeah, I'm very excited to keep reading. Genuinely, the more time I can't read, the more excited I am to get back to it again. So yeah, I'm very intrigued. Let's keep going. Stop. Klaus mentioned in the first book already? Okay, so they just went to a party and Tyler tried to force himself on Elena. Basically how he did with Vicky in the TV show. But obviously this time Stefan jumped in. And he basically like threw Tyler across the forest. I don't know. Like they said his head was falling from one side to the other. Like, you know, I was a little scared for a second. Just like me, Elena is terrified. But then she just goes, he had never looked so beautiful before. Girl, stop. Not Stefan telling Elena that he knew a girl who looked like her. But they are so different because Catherine was weak and soft, and Elena is not. She's a fighter. It's just so funny to me that in this version, apparently, Catherine and Elena are reversed. Like, I cannot. Where Catherine had been a white kitten, Elena was a snow white tigress. I just feel like we haven't had enough, like, actual scenes with Stefan and Elena as, like, people or, like, as becoming friends, you know? Because the whole time she was just the first time she saw Seven, she was like, I'm gonna marry this man if he wants to or not. But then Stefan has been avoiding her the whole time, and so nothing happened. And then all of a sudden, Elena just screams at him and goes, why have you been doing this to me? Do you hate me? And he's like, no, I don't. And then they make out. It's just kind of weird that now they are aggressively making out after, like, they haven't even, like, they don't even know each other. You know what I mean? I don't know. She just said, I love you. Girl, like, what do you mean? You've been talking twice. That's literally what I just had. Okay. Okay, apparently the vampires are witches as well. Because what do you mean they can, like, change emotions and switch off sunlight? Damon is so disgusting in this. And it makes me think that, like, if we're being honest with ourselves, he was just as disgusting in the TV show. And I am just a hypocrite that loves Ian Somerhalder. So their gym teacher has been killed. And basically Tyler just explained to everyone that there have been attacks like all around town. Surprisingly, just when Stefan came here, that's when they started. And now there's a mob going to find Stefan. Okay, Elena just found out about Stefan and I don't fully remember how it happened in the show, which is insane. I'm such a fake fan. I have rewatched the Vampire Diaries so many times. Anyways, I think in the show she finds out like it's very Twilight, you know, that she just Googles some stuff and like there's just this dramatic sequence where she puts it all together, and I feel like it's the same for Twilight, right?
How can I deny what's right in front of me? Someone who never grows old, never gets hurt, girls bitten, bodies drained of blood. What are you?
Anyways, I said that the gym teacher was found dead, right? So Elena just found Stefan, like full with blood. And she's obviously terrified of him. And so she was like running away and screaming. And for some reason, somehow, I don't know, they ended up on the roof and she was like almost falling off the roof, but Stefan caught her with his vampire strength. I'm really confused, to be honest. But like now she almost knows. And that's where we're at right now. Oh, okay. Now we are also going with a Twilight book. You're strong and quick.
You're impossibly fast and strong. Your skin is pale white and ice cold.
Okay, so now Stefan is telling her the whole story, like we're going back in time with Catherine and Damon and all of that. And like in the show, Catherine just wanted a polyamorous relationship, and Stefan and Damon were not amused. So now they're trying to fight each other, and Catherine's in the middle, like, no, don't, you know? Oh, and she also has turned both of them into vampires already. Ooh, okay. So they think Catherine killed herself. That's also how she got, not her, that's also how Stefan got her daylight ring, because they just found the ring and, like, ashes. Which they are thinking are Catherine's. I personally am not convinced. I know that it can definitely be different from the TV show, so it's very possible that Catherine is just not gonna be in the story anymore. But I don't think so. I think she's coming back. Oh yeah, and then Stefan and Damon killed each other, actually. They just, like, shot each other because they were pissed, because they were in love with Catherine. Oh, they can become animals? So Damon is the crow. I'm guessing that's what they were going for in the first episode of the Vampire Diaries as well. Interesting. Okay, Elena asked Stefan to drink her blood so that he can be stronger and fight Damon, I guess. Again, I'm pretty sure we had that plotline in the show. So it's actually a lot more similar than I expected. So far, I feel like a lot that has happened in like a kinda similar, maybe a little different way in the show. So very interesting. Oh damn, okay. So basically, Stefan went to find Damon because, like I said, we think that he probably killed all these people, but the whole town thinks Stefan did it. And so then Elena goes to school the next day and she hasn't heard from Stefan, and turns out Stefan is missing. The police is searching for him, they don't know where he is, and the book ends with Elena running into the woods. She turned and shouted directly into the fury of the wind. Just one word, but the one she knew would bring him back. Damon. Okay, so that's the end of book 1. I don't know what to say. So yeah, like I said, I was surprised at how similar it actually is to this TV show. Like, obviously it's not a one-on-one thing where like almost exactly the same stuff happens, but I do feel like the show took a lot of scenes from the book and just integrated them into their own story that's a little bit different, you know? So yeah, I'm very intrigued. What are my predictions for the next book? I have to say, we haven't gotten any werewolves yet. And I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen because I feel like they alluded to that. Like, I don't really remember, why didn't I talk about it then? But I feel like there was a moment with Tyler, and like, I'm not sure if it was like the moon or if they were talking about claws or something. Like, something was there, and I was like, oh, I clocked that. I noticed that. And then I forgot to talk about it. So I'm intrigued if that's gonna come into play. Like I said, maybe Catherine's coming back. I don't know if it's in the next book, but like, there are 4. So in some of the books, I feel like she's gonna come back. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say right now. That was book 1 for you. Now I'll see you when I read the second one. Okay, I'm back. Still not feeling great, to be honest, so I'm probably gonna go back to bed to read in a minute. I wanted to give us a little bit of an input again about the second book. So, the second book is called The Struggle. 278 pages, a love triangle of unspeakable horror. Didn't we have that in the first one as well? Oh, yeah. Okay. Interesting. So, they start the same. Damon, determined to make Elena his queen of darkness, he'd kill his own brother to possess her. Okay, Damon. Stefan, desperate for the power to destroy Damon, he succumbs to his thirst for human blood. Oh, are we getting Ripper, Stefan? Or is it just about him drinking Elena's blood? Who knows? Elena, irresistibly drawn to both brothers. Her choice will decide their fate. The terrifying story of two vampire brothers and the beautiful girl torn between them. So that's that. I'm gonna start the second book now. I'm really not feeling great. I'm trying my best because I want to vlog it because it's just so stupid and funny. But I'm just not really feeling great. Okay, I figured, but we are starting off exactly where we left off. Elena is screaming for Damon, and Damon tells her he could turn her and tries to compel her to forget Stefan. But Elena's like, no, it's Stefan. It's always gonna be Stefan. She didn't say that, by the way, but it just fits perfectly. Like, that's basically what she said. Okay, so currently Elena's in her depressed Bella state, but differently to it, everyone thinks Stefan is a serial killer. Except for her, you know? So now Elena has to convince her friends, Bonnie and Meredith, like I said, Caroline not that much in the picture, that they need to trust her, but she hasn't told them about the vampires yet. Oh, and Bonnie is being used for her powers again. Like, that's news. So basically, we just had a seance, and Bonnie found Stefan. She didn't find the place, but she was just saying it's dark, there are stones, there's water. I'm thinking it's a well, because we had that in the show. Like, I guess I'm lucky there that I already know the show, because they are going a completely different way, in my opinion. Like, they should go to a well, but they are going to some river at their town, and we're gonna look for him now. Okay, they went to this bridge. He's not there. But who is there? Matt Donovan. I don't think. I'm not sure if his last name is Donovan in this one, but Matt. Matt is here. And he's pretty nice so far, so that's surprising. Then again, he has always been nice to Elena. I just hate him for how he treated Caroline, to be honest. Matt is there, and he's now coming with us. So they rescued Stefan, and he is obviously very weak because he was in a well, like I said. But they like dragged him out of there, and now they're back at his place. And Elena just told everyone else to go get a doctor, basically just so she can be alone with Stefan, because we're obviously not gonna get a doctor. But she just thought it would buy her some time to give him her blood, and that's gonna make him stronger again and probably heal him. So now we're good. Are we getting Alaric? Because I hadn't really thought about any of the like side characters, I guess, if they would come up in this book as well. So I'm very interested. And also, like, is he gonna be a vampire hunter as well? Like, are we gonna get his backstory? I am so intrigued now. Okay, I really just had to keep reading 2 more sentences apparently. So Alaric basically gave them a therapy session instead of like a school lesson as a teacher, I guess. And then he invited the whole class to come to his house and chill. And for some reason, Damon is here. And he's so creepy and disgusting. I hate myself for loving him in the show. I can't deny he's still very funny, though. What's your major? American folklore. Did you know, for instance, that a mole on the neck means you'll be wealthy? Do you mind if I check? Okay, Elena just went. I have to keep them from fighting over me. Or, like, from fighting each other over me. I don't think Damon has ever shown any interest in you, girl. Like, I mean, technically he has, but it's so obvious that that was just to get into Stefan's head, you know? But that's just good old Elena for ya. Oh, okay, in the book, anyone can invite you into our house. Even someone who doesn't live there. Like, as long as someone inside the house is inviting you in, is a vampire. You can come in.
Ach so.
Okay, so apparently Damon can also control the weather. Like, I know before he was controlling the light, basically, so like he could make it go all dark, but I kind of thought that was like lighting inside. That's still magic though, thinking about it. No, apparently he can also change the weather because Stefan said it's been gray and dark outside. Relatable. And that's because Damon is here. So he's doing that. So literally, what can't vampires do? Aren't they basically witches? Okay, I'm back in bed. Because the world has been spinning a little bit, so I need to calm down. But I wanted to say something, and that's that I really like that like Stefan and Elena got together in the first book, and so far in the second book they have been together the whole time, and I think I'm like halfway through, almost maybe. And I just really like when a book that does focus mostly, I guess, on the romance part, like a romantasy, when it's still able to keep the plot so interesting that I'm fine with the love interests already being together, because most books is just like, will they, won't they, and then they get together and then they break up again and they get together and break up again, and I think that's so annoying. Like, if I want a slow burn, then that means that I just want them to take a long while to get together, but then when they are together, they're not gonna break up 10 times again. They are together now and they would go through hell for each other, and that's that, you know. And I feel like with Elena and Stefan, they have been together since the first book now, and I really like that they are just together. Like, of course, there are struggles, but they are trying to master them as a team, you know? And so the problem isn't the relationship in the books, but it's just everything else that's falling apart around them, you know? So I really like that. Okay, that was a very weird scene. So we just had this weird scene where Vicky is just taking off all her clothes and no one's doing anything. Like, clearly something's going on, like she's compelled or something, and just no one stops her from getting naked in school. Okay, Elena stepped in, thank God. What was that? Okay, to be honest, not that much interesting stuff has been happening. I feel like in the first book, it was so short. So, like, we just had action and action the whole time. And I feel like it has been the same here as well, but just like lately, not that much has been happening. Oh yeah, but Damon just snuck into Elena's dream and then he bit her while she was sleeping, so yeah. Is Catherine coming? Because, like, is Catherine the one doing the diary stuff? So I forgot to talk about this, but there was this plot point that someone stole Elena's diary and published like parts of it in their school newspaper, which is obviously not fun for a teenage girl. And especially, she was kind of stressed that she accidentally wrote something about Stefan being a vampire, you know? And they have been questioning it, and right now they think it's Caroline, but I personally really think it's Catherine. Because who else would be able to get her diary so easily without anyone noticing, like a thief, I guess, you know? So, because even Caroline would have to sneak into Elena's room or something to get it, but a person that looks exactly like Elena would have no struggle walking by past her friends and family and all of them without noticing and going to her room, you know? So I'm thinking maybe it's Catherine. But I think actually right now I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna take a nap because I am not feeling great. The room is spinning, I swear. So, catch you whenever I feel better again, hopefully. Okay, hi. I took a nap, feeling like semi better, but I thought I would give you a little update. So I was wrong. It was, in fact, Caroline. Like the whole diary thing. She's just really mean in this version. So basically, Tyler and Caroline stole Elena's diary, and their plan was that they wanted to expose Stefan. Because apparently Elena wrote something in her diary that could be like enough evidence that Stefan's guilty. So then basically Elena, Bonnie, and Meredith break into Caroline's home to try and find the diary. But they only end up finding Caroline's diary. And Bonnie reads some of it because. And then it's getting very stressful because the family's coming home and we are still in the house. So Elena tells Bonnie and Meredith to run for it while she's hiding Caroline's diary again. And so when the family comes home, Elena is still inside the house. And somehow trying to hide, she ends up on the balcony, trying to climb on the roof. And she's like hearing someone already coming close to the balcony, like someone is already starting to open the door. And right at that moment, a hand takes her and pulls her onto the roof. And it's it's Damon. And then Damon basically tells Elena that he can help her get her own diary for a price, of course. And the price is that he gets to spend time with her. And there was like this weird scene where they had like apparently they had some tension. I didn't really notice, but the author explicitly told us there was some tension there or something like that. So yeah, didn't love that, didn't enjoy that, to be honest. I just really don't like Damon in this. He's very disgusting. He at some point he said something like he has had a lot of young girls, and it's like, you're 100 years old, please don't touch young girls. And he also said like, you'll be mine, to Elena or something. So he's just very possessive and it's disgusting. So obviously Elena said no to his proposition and jumped off the roof. And so now we're at Thanksgiving. And who does she find at home hanging out with her family? Damon, of course, again. By the way, she hasn't told Stefan anything about these meetups that she has been having with Damon because she's stressed that he's gonna try and fight him, but he's obviously weaker because he's only drinking animal blood. So yeah, like I said, now we're at Thanksgiving. And Elena just came home from buying food, I guess. I don't know how Thanksgiving works. I'm not from America. And yeah, who's there? Damon, of course, like I just said. And the whole dinner is pretty weird and awkward. Obviously, Damon is charming and everyone loves him, you know, the way that Ian Somerhalder is as well. But Elena just keeps trying to get him to like trip up. So he asks her about Vicky because we're pretty sure, because of the whole weird school scene that I talked about before, that she's compelled. And so who would compel her? Probably Damon. So she's just trying to trip him up the whole time, but it's not really working. And then the dinner actually ends because Bonnie starts having a vision. And obviously Elena's aunt thinks she's having a seizure, like a breakdown or something. So that's where we're at right now. Okay, hi. It's late and I don't want to set up like the camera, so I'm just gonna talk to you like this for a second. Oh my god. The way so much crazy shit has happened, I swear. Okay, so basically after Bonnie had like a breakdown, Damon and Elena had a little moment where everyone else was with Bonnie basically, and so at that point Damon told her that he is gonna come back tonight and do whatever to her. He comes there, but obviously Elena's like, hell no, I'm not doing whatever you want. So he threatens her little sister, who's 4 by the way. To save her little sister, Elena lets him bite her. And the next morning she's like, I cannot do this anymore. This is horrifying. I hate this. I'm gonna go to Stefan and talk to him about all of this. Because technically she hasn't told him anything yet because she wanted to protect him. Because she didn't want him to go after Damon when he's clearly weaker than Damon because he's not drinking any human blood. And so yeah, she goes to Stefan and he obviously doesn't care because Elena's like, what if he hates me now? And he's like, girl, I love you. Why didn't you tell me sooner? I could have protected you, whatever. And then he proposes to her. So where do I have it? Then, still slowly, he took the hand she was holding out. Deliberately, as they both watched, he slipped the ring onto her finger, as if it had been made for her. By the way, this is Catherine's ring. He's proposing to her with Catherine's daylight ring that he has had the past, I don't know how many 100 years now. What the hell is happening? She's 17 and he's 100 something, and he's proposing to her while she is 17. This is insane. What is happening? I cannot. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. And Elena's like, we'll have to keep it a secret at least till I'm 18, but then no one can stop us. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm probably gonna finish the book tonight, so maybe I'll talk to you tomorrow again, unless something very important and urgent comes up like this. So I think I left off when Stefan wanted to marry Elena, right? So, yeah, that happened. And now we are at the parade because I'm not sure if I said this, but Tyler and Caroline, like, this was where they planned to expose Stefan as a serial killer, basically, with Elena's diary. So, yeah, the day has come, and Elena and her friends have tried everything to get her diary back from Caroline, but they couldn't do it. And now Caroline is gonna read from it in front of everyone. But when she's grabbing the book from her purse, it turns out it's actually not Elena's diary in there, but Caroline's. So then Caroline runs away, pissed because her plan didn't work out. And Elena's just wondering, but who did it? Because we weren't able to do it. Stefan couldn't do it either. Who did this? And who do you think is standing in the crowd, smiling and waving? And then everything escalates. Because basically Elena runs to talk to Damon. She finds out nothing. However, her aunt also shows up at that point, and her aunt really likes Damon because obviously she only met like the charming, typical Damon facade, I guess. And Elena gets really pissed because her aunt keeps saying that maybe she should just date Damon instead of Stefan. And yeah, so like I said, Elena gets very annoyed and pissed and tells her aunt, and so technically also Damon, that she's engaged to Stefan. And then she also shows her ring, which is Catherine's, if you remember. And when Damon sees that, he just turns around and walks away. And then Elena basically leaves as well because all of that was just a little bit too much for her. Which makes sense. Like, she basically screamed in front of the whole school that she's now engaged to Stefan and that she hates her family. So, she's running off. She takes Matt's car. Like, she asks him if she can just take it to drive to Stefan's. But oh no, there is a thunderstorm. And it's probably Damon's doing because we learned before that apparently vampires can do anything and they can also control the weather. So Elena, who's just driving in the car right now and is very stressed by the lightning, thunder, whatever, ends up driving off of a bridge and falls into a river. So, yeah. And then we get to Bonnie and Stefan and Meredith, who are searching for Elena, and they find her and she's dead. So naturally, Stefan goes to kill Damon because he believes this is all his doing. And he also says that if Elena dies, then he's gonna kill himself as well because he's not gonna live without her. And basically to get enough strength to fight Damon, because we know that he is a little bit weaker, like I said. He goes to the school to kill people, to drink human blood, so that he is as strong as Damon. So he kills some random guy from school. He almost kills Tyler. And Caroline is just there and sees the whole thing happening. So we'll see how that's gonna develop in the future. So yeah, like I said, Stefan goes to kill Damon. He can also turn into a falcon now, by the way, because he's strong now. And they're fighting a little bit, but then it was dark and very cold. And someone was hurt. Someone needed help. But she was terribly tired. Elena's eyelids fluttered and opened. And then we get a little bit more of Elena being confused and searching for someone. We don't know who. And that's basically the end of the second book. So let's get into it. Has Elena turned now? I'm guessing yes, because I'm not sure if I said it, but at some point Damon gave her his blood, and a little bit after, Stefan also gave her his blood. So, oh, and it's also kept so ambiguous where Elena, like who Elena is searching for. So I basically just assumed it's Stefan last night, but now that I've had some time to think about it, I just realized, what if it's Damon? Because we had that whole plotline in the TV show where Elena turns and then they think that she's sire to Damon. So I'm wondering, because if it was Stefan, they would just say, and she went to look for Stefan, you know? But since they kept it so ambiguous and they were like, and she knew she was searching for someone, I think it's Damon. So yeah, that was all for book 2. Now let's get into book 3. I kid you not, I'm so excited. I have to say, I felt like the second one was a little bit more boring to me, but then towards the end, like the ending was insane. So now I'm very intrigued to see how we're developing Elena as a vampire. I'm very excited. The Fury. 285 pages, so again, manageable. I'm really hoping to finish both books today and tomorrow, actually. Because I kind of want to post the video soon. So, a love triangle of unspeakable horror. Stefan, tormented after losing Elena. Because she's dead or because she's with Damon. He's determined to end the feud with his brother Damon, whatever the cost. Okay. Damon, mocking Stefan and Elena. He laughs in the face of doom. Of course he does. Elena, wild with her craving for blood. She confronts the ultimate evil. The terrifying story of two vampire brothers and the beautiful girl torn between them. So that sounds very much like we're getting Vampire Elena and Stefan tormented after losing Elena. I don't think that's because she's dead. I think it's because she's with Damon. Just saying. You heard it here first, folk. So let's get into it now. I was right. Elena is currently trying to kill Stefan. Which shouldn't be funny. But like, she's gotta be sired to Damon somehow, right? I mean, come on. Oh, damn. She's like really actually trying to kill Stefan. Like, not just a little fun, like, ooh, let's scratch you. Like, she's really trying to kill him. Oh my god. This really feels a lot heavier than the first two books. Like, there was death in the first two, but this. Okay. We're sacrificing Matt now? Like, to drink for Elena? See, I feel like TV shows Stefan would never do that. And then again, he did ask him for consent. Technically. Like, not really. He just said, like, if you could do anything to save Elena, would you? And Matt was like, obviously yes. And Stefan's like, okay, then come. We're gonna feed you to Elena now. As Elena's exes, he and Matt were in the same position now. Oh my god, Stefan. You accepted that she's apparently, for some reason, in love with Damon now? Very fast. Oh my god. I swear, Stefan is giving Ripper. We just remembered that we almost killed like Tyler and his friends. And so Stefan just went there and Matt just ran after him because why not? He's a little puppy. And then he's like, oh my god, Stefan, did you do all that? And you're not even sorry. You don't even regret it. Why should I? Said Stefan, coldly, emptily. Do you regret it when you eat too much steak? Feel sorry for the cow? Stefan. Okay. Some backstory. Not that much has happened. It's like 2 pages later. Okay, did I say it? I don't know. So Damon took Elena with him, and I don't know where he took her, but he was just like, stay here, and went to do something, who knows? And obviously Elena was like, no. And she went home, because why not? But she, for some reason, she can feel that she can't go inside the house. Damon finds Elena and takes her with him. And where does he take her? She didn't ask where they were going. She didn't much care, but she recognized the house. It was where Alaric Salzman was staying. I'm sorry, what? Okay, I have to keep reading now. And it was Alaric who opened the front door. His eyes were glassy and he moved like an. Oh, okay. So Damon compelled him. Okay. I was stressed for a second. I was like, is Alaric also a vampire? What the hell? Apparently he's just there and he's gonna become a part of this now. Okay, I finished the third book last night actually. So let's get into it. So I think we left off when Elena just became a vampire and basically used Matt as a blood bag. And then Damon takes her to Alaric's house. But then we find out that he just compelled Alaric and Elena's just gonna sleep in the attic and he compelled Alaric to forget that Elena's even there. While Elena's there, she overhears an interesting conversation between Alaric and I'm not sure, but like probably the mayor of the town. The point is the people know about the vampires and they want Alaric to kill the vampires. So Elena leaves and she kind of somehow accidentally stumbles onto her own funeral. Because obviously the town is having a funeral because they didn't find her body and found a car wreck. But then for some reason, like random dogs start attacking people at the funeral. So then we were getting some more Delena moments, I guess. Looking up at Damon's face in the woods and feeling such excitement, such affinity with him, as if he understood the flame that burned inside her as nobody else ever could, as if together they could do anything they liked, conquer the world. He'd kept her safe, even been gentle with her. So it's like the beginning of a Damon arc, a little bit, I guess. Okay, and so then, like I said, Elena went to her own funeral, right? And her friend Meredith was giving a speech, but it was kind of weird and made it sound a little bit like secretly she kind of figured that Elena was still alive and also telling her to come meet her. It was kind of like a secret code that only Elena would understand. And so she went to Meredith's house because for some reason Meredith is not that shocked. And actually, before in the books, it's been talked about that we don't know much about Meredith's family and like everything about her past. So I was wondering at that point, could that have anything to do with why she's not surprised, you know? And later we actually find out that her grandpa was attacked by vampires. And so that's how she already knew vampires existed and how she kind of put that together. Oh, and then we also tell Bonnie, so our besties know about the vampires now. She also, like, Elena told them everything about Stefan, Damon, everything that's happened so far. Oh my god, and then this is like really random. I just saw in my notes, I wrote down the quote, Catherine was a vampire. A guy named Klaus had made her one back in the village in Germany. And I just, at that point, realized why Klaus was named Klaus. Because in the TV show, it made no sense to me that all of the characters, like all of the originals who are siblings, have such non-connected names. Like, what do you mean? There's like an Elijah, Rebecca, Cole, like very, I guess, American-esque names. And then there's Niklaus. It just makes no sense. It's also, they all have different accents. Like, it makes no sense. But here, Klaus is from Germany. And that sounds about right, actually. Okay, so now we are finding out a little bit more. And one of the things we find out is that Alaric is actually a psychiatrist or something who loves vampires. He's actually not explicitly a vampire hunter, he just wants to study them. And so he immediately believes Stefan and Elena that they are good. And he's like, hell, it's the ultimate study case. I'm gonna work with ya. And like I said, there have been a lot of animal attacks, right? Like at the funeral, but even later on, the animals have been acting weird, and somehow it's all connected to Elena, of course. And now there's this Christmas ball coming up, and for some reason we all know, like Elena knows, we just have this feeling that something bad's gonna happen there, because obviously it all revolves around Elena. So yeah, we're at the dance, but nothing has happened so far, and so now we've decided that Bonnie, of course, needs to do everything again. So Bonnie kind of goes into a trance, and like someone else, something is going on, but it's not her inside her body right now. Bonnie just goes, follow me, and gets up and walks like very, you know, like we know that's not Bonnie actually in there right now. And Bonnie takes us to a tomb where I was guessing Catherine is inside, and I'm just so smart because my guess was right. So this evil power starts attacking Elena, and Damon and Stefan are both trying to protect her, of course. We kind of thought Damon would be maybe a bad guy, by the way. Like at that point, Damon hadn't really been helping a lot, so we were kind of thinking maybe he hasn't changed, because Elena was saying the whole time, like, no, he's changed, he's helping us, whatever. At that point, we were kind of wondering if he actually did, but then he jumped in to help Elena, and so now we're good again. And then Catherine appears. It has been her the whole time. She is the dangerous evil power, and she was also the one that bit Vicky and made her do all the weird stuff in school that we thought Damon was doing. It wasn't Damon. Turns out Damon isn't as much evil as we expected. He still, just like for fun, killed the gym teacher or something, but at least he didn't kill everyone that we thought he did. Somehow our other friends, like Matt, Meredith, and Bonnie, they escaped. And now it's just the three of us, plus Catherine, of course, and we are tied up. Like Stefan, Damon, and Elena are tied up, and Catherine is having a fun time. And genuinely, she's really creepy. Like in the TV show, Nina Dobrev just plays her like such a cool bad bitch, but in the books, she had kind of like a childlike feeling. She felt a little bit like, what's her name? The red-haired girl in Wednesday?
Happy prank day, Wednesday.
Like that was the vibe that she was giving to me. Really creepy. Genuinely, I was terrified of her. And I read that last night. And now she wants to kill Stefan because for some reason she's like, I was kind of more in love with Stefan, so I really want him dead now because he betrayed me and I'm pissed off. But Damon, don't you want to like hang out with me? Like, we can kill your brother and we can be together now? And for a minute, Elena is kind of scared that he's gonna go for it. But Damon actually just ends up saying, go to hell. And then Catherine died somehow. I don't really remember but she died. There was a big fight between all of them. Elena is dying. Damon is telling her to just hold the hell on and you're not gonna die that way. And Elena's like, I don't think that's how it works. And so the book actually ends with Elena dying. Even as a vampire, she still died. So yeah, that was the ending of the book. I have to say, I really enjoyed this book. Like, genuinely, I can't believe I'm saying this, but this was a really good book. Like, I had a really good time. Like, the plot was genuinely good, and I don't know, I'm really surprised. So let's get into the fourth and last book now. So I have to tell you, I have already finished the fourth book as well. Like, after the third one, I just like immediately started the next one and then finished it, and I haven't had time to talk about it yet. So let's get some information. Dark Reunion. 311 pages, so a little bit longer than the other ones. The final conflict. The last deadly kiss. Elena. Now she rises from the dead. Okay? To recreate the powerful vampire trio. Stefan, summoned by Elena. That makes no sense. I swear, I already started the book and this makes no sense right now. I'm so confused. He keeps a promise to her and fights the most terrifying evil he's ever faced. Damon, joining the brother he once called enemy. Damon battles this new horror with strength, cunning, and deadly charm. I'm sorry, but the last one, like, this blurb made no fucking sense. And Elena does not rise from the fucking dead. I don't think it's gonna happen until the very end, so this is such a big spoiler. So what I wrote down is the book starts from Bonnie's POV. It was a little bit alluded to that in the end of the third book because it ends with Elena dying, and then the like epilogue or something, I guess, is a diary entry, but from Bonnie this time. And so I figured that Bonnie was gonna be like the main character, I guess, in the next book. And also Caroline is there. So we actually, I don't think we get a redemption arc. Like, Caroline never apologized for being really mean in like which one was it? The second book. But she's trying right now. And so, like I said, we're in Bonnie's POV. And Bonnie has been having weird dreams about Elena. And so basically a little bit later, we're having a little gathering at Caroline's. I don't know. It's Meredith, Caroline, Bonnie, Vicky, and another girl called Sue. And because Bonnie talked about having a dream of Elena, I don't know who, but they decide to use a Ouija board to contact Elena. And Elena told them to get like some secret ingredients for a summoning spell or something. Some evil magic gets there. And the girl Sue, who we didn't really know, she dies actually. Oh my god. I'm sorry, this is like a little bit of a topic change, but I wrote down in my notes Matt Honeycutt. Because apparently Matt's last name is not Donovan. It's Honeycutt. And I could not. Like, what the hell? Yeah, a little bit is changed anyway. So, for example, Vicky is not Matt's sister. And Vicky is actually named Bennett with the last name. And she's also not related to Bonnie Bennett. Because Bonnie also has a different last name that I can't remember right now. They changed the surnames for some reason for everyone. But like with Honeycutt, I get it. So like I said before, they figured out that Elena wants them to do a summoning spell. And apparently they figure that the person they should summon is Stefan, because they need help here. So they get some hair and blood from the tomb where we were in the last book, and they summon Stefan. Oh, and Bonnie uses actual English words. Like, they genuinely have like a spell written down. No like Phesmatos. Okay, and I think Vicky or someone said something about a blonde-haired evil man. So I just wrote down my notes. Klaus! Okay, my notes are kind of random because I write down what I think in the moment. So I wrote down not Matt having an existential crisis because the world sucks. Relatable. Okay, so the next thing that happened is they were trying to set a trap for the big evil that they don't know they are fighting. And it turns out the person that comes there is Tyler. And Tyler is a werewolf. Who would have thought? And he tried to kill Meredith. So we're not having a great time right now. But clearly, like, he wasn't the one that's doing all of this. He is working for someone else. We just don't know who. Oh, and by the way, we are getting Tyler to tell us everything by making him believe that Stefan will chop off his foot. Like, it was really intense. Genuinely, so much gore in this book. Like, genuinely. Tyler told us that the other vampire is going to Vicky's. So we are going to Vicky's. And like I said, this is gory, okay? So let me read the next scene. Her eyes, adjusting from the darkness outside, could see only red. Just red. Because that was the new color of Vicky's room. The powder blue was gone. Red wallpaper, red comforter. Red in great gaudy splashes across the floor. As if some kid had gotten a bucket of red paint and gone crazy. Like, that's terrifying, okay? So the police are saying it's a suicide. How did she splash all of her own blood all over the room? We don't know. But the police are saying it's a suicide. But we are obviously pretty sure that it's not. It's a little bit later, and Bonnie is now wanting to help Stefan see Elena. Because, like I said before, she has been seeing Elena in her dreams. So she's trying to figure out how she could maybe help Stefan see Elena. So it works, and Bonnie just leaves her dream or whatever. Like, she's just like, I'm gonna give them some space. And Elena and Stefan talk. And then he looked like the devil. If the devil was handsome and blonde. We get our first actual Klaus appearance, and damn, he is terrifying. So Stefan and Elena were together, and he basically makes Elena's body, like in the dream, rot completely until she's like a corpse, and then make it rot like until she's only a skeleton in Stefan's arms. Like, that is genuinely so terrifying. Such an insane first, like, moment of the character. What? From what I saw, he's as crazy as Catherine. And even crueler. And somehow now Klaus has Caroline. So now obviously we have to get her back. And because it's Klaus, I'm pretty sure, I don't remember, but I feel like he just told us exactly where he was. Because he was like, Stefan, meet me at that place. There's a fight. Tyler also comes there. He's working for Klaus. And also Klaus is just bending lightning. Like, he just throws lightning at them. Oh, and I don't know how, I forget, but somehow we now know that only the dagger from the white oak tree can kill Klaus. And for some reason, we also have a white oak tree dagger. Don't ask me how that happened, I don't remember. But yeah, so we're fighting. Like I said, Stefan and Klaus are fighting. It's not looking great. And then Damon comes in because Damon hasn't been here again. We had this whole thing where Stefan was pissed at Damon, and then Damon was like, well, then you can all go fuck yourself and do everything on your own. But of course, he wasn't gonna let Stefan die. He wasn't fast enough though. So Stefan is now currently dying, and we still haven't killed Klaus, and he's still coming back with his lightning powers. So it's not looking great. But then, like I said, everyone's on the floor. There's been a battle. Damon is wounded. Matt is wounded. Even Meredith, like, Tyler scratched her leg and it's like open to the bone or something. Stefan isn't feeling great. For some reason, Bonnie is the only one without a scratch, and Bonnie is just, like, desperately pleading to the spirits. She's just saying, like, any spirit, please come help us. Elena, maybe, I don't know. Oh, and we learned about this before, but apparently there was a civil war at some point in this town. And so all of the soldiers, all the dead, they are coming back. Their spirits, I don't know. They just come back for a minute and take Klaus. And Elena's like, oh, you don't even want to know where he's going. Oh yeah, right, and Elena is with them as well. And so yeah, they basically just take Klaus and haul him away. And then also Elena, for some reason, now has healing powers. Only for tonight though. Why? We don't know. How? We don't know. Same with the soldiers. How were they here? We don't know. But so yeah, Elena heals everyone, like Stefan, Damon, Matt, Meredith, everyone. And then her spirit fades away or something. So she's still dead. But then Bonnie just screams at the sky and is like, that's not fair though. And then Elena comes back. How? We don't know. Why? We don't know. So yeah, happy ever after, I guess. That's the end of the 4th book. Now I gotta say, I really enjoyed the 4th book until like 90%. Because that ending was convenient as fuck. Like, I'm sorry. Nothing was explained. It all was just like, oh yeah, and for some reason, at this point in time, Elena can heal everybody. Because the stars are right or something like. And also like they gotta leave the town now, right? Because Elena has come back twice now from the dead. I mean, so yeah, that was the end of this book. I have now been informed that there are in fact a lot more books. I did not know. Okay, so there's a trilogy after this one, and that is called The Return Trilogy. The first book in this trilogy was published February 10th, 2009. So my question is now, the TV show came out in 2009 as well, right? So I'm just wondering if the books were written before or during the TV show, and also like how involved was the author in the TV show, because now I'm just wondering how the books are gonna be if you kept writing them almost 20 years after the first 4. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna read them right now. We're gonna end the video here. Let's just look at the other ones though. So there's another trilogy after that called the Hunters Trilogy that was published in 2011, and it's written by a ghostwriter actually. And then there's another trilogy, the Salvation Trilogy, published 2013, also written by a ghostwriter, Aubrey Clark. And then I also saw that there's like another trilogy that's called the Eversong arc, and that's again written by the original author, but only 2 books came out, and they came out in 2014. And the 3rd book has still not come out yet, but the author has still said that it's gonna come out still. Like, I'm very confused. Genuinely, this is insane to me. I did not expect there to be a million books, really. Stop, she also wrote The Secret Circle? Damn, Laura! Like my whole childhood. I cannot. Okay. So yeah, thank you for being here with me to read all the Vampire Diaries books. I'm calling it all the Vampire Diaries books because like the other ones came 20 years later, okay? I feel like this was a story that was meant to be told in 4 books. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot more than I expected. Was the ending convenient as hell? Yes, but like still I had a good time. Oh my god, and also this was the 100th book that I read this year. So kind of like a special moment right now. So yeah, like I said, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Also, I feel like I will read more in this series at some point, okay? So I'm sure there's gonna be another video. I just don't know when yet. Like, I'm not ready right now. I need a break. Bye!